that electric vehicles are very important to the future. In order to have clean air in cities, you have to go electric.
Elon Musk has once again set his sights on a groundbreaking venture. At this point, making headlines for proposing groundbreaking projects is a hobby for this fellow. So what is it this time? Well, it's electric air travel. The internet is on fire with claims that Elon Musk has hinted at releasing Tesla's first airplane. While this is far from the only venture out of the ordinary for Tesla, it can usher in a whole new era for air travelers worldwide. And it's not just Tesla. Other manufacturers are also eyeing the opportunity to revolutionize not just the aviation industry, but the future of sustainable travel itself. As with electric cars and solar power, the idea is to shift the paradigm toward cleaner, more efficient technology. So, what does the future hold for electronic aviation? Well, there's a lot to unpack, so let's get started. Elon Musk's vision for Tesla's airplane. Back in 2023, during Tesla's Investor Day, Musk unveiled the third part of his ambitious master plan, which sets the stage for the next phase of Tesla's mission to reshape society through sustainable energy solutions. Here, he hinted at the possibility of electric boats and planes, suggesting that Tesla could soon revolutionize not just land transportation, but also air and maritime travel. With his proven track record of upending entire industries, from automobiles to space exploration, his proposal to electrify the aviation and maritime sectors is not as far-fetched as it might initially sound. Shipping, Musk pointed out, is responsible for approximately 3% of global carbon emissions, making it a prime target for electrification. Likewise, for many years, aviation has been a major contributor to global emissions. Musk wants to change this. He sees a future where air travel is more accessible and cleaner than ever before. So how is he going to make that possible? Well, let's find out. Musk has already demonstrated in the electric vehicle sector that innovation can pave the way for new, more sustainable technologies. In Musk's vision, electric planes could offer a solution that not only reduces emissions, but also revolutionizes air travel. But it's easier said than done. Airplanes require far more energy than cars or boats. But Musk's track record of overcoming technical obstacles suggests that Tesla is up for the challenge. If Tesla succeeds in its efforts to electrify boats and planes, it will mark a new frontier in sustainable transportation, accelerating the transition toward a fully electric world. In addition to the environmental benefits, the electrification of planes and boats could have profound economic implications. By cutting down on fuel costs and reducing reliance on fossil fuels, electric transportation could make travel cheaper and more accessible. During his remarks, Musk acknowledged that achieving sufficient energy density for long-haul battery-powered aircraft and boats remains a challenging task. The fundamental issue lies in the sheer amount of energy required to keep planes and ships in operation over long distances. However, he quickly offered an optimistic outlook, stating that while long-haul flights might be a distant reality, short-haul electric planes are already within the realm of possibility. According to Musk, the key to bridging this gap lies in continuous advancements in battery technology. For the time being, Musk suggested that a practical solution for reducing aviation emissions could involve sustainable aviation fuels that are produced and stored using excess renewable electricity. This method would leverage current energy infrastructure, such as wind or solar power, to generate the required fuel for aircraft, offering a cleaner alternative to traditional jet fuel. This approach, though not as radical as fully electric planes, could serve as an important bridge until the energy density of batteries improves enough to make fully electric planes feasible. Musk firmly believes that with the right advancements, the transportation sector can decarbonize, moving away from fossil fuel reliance and toward a future of clean energy. Musk even went so far as to predict that the shift to fully electric transportation will eventually extend beyond just cars, buses, and trucks to include airplanes and ships. Musk is not the first to think this way. A lot of work has already been done in the field of electronic aviation. The potential of electric aircraft. By 2023, the sustainable aviation industry was already booming, with the number of sustainable aircraft concepts encompassing both fully electric and hybrid electric designs, reaching as high as 700. This explosion in aircraft designs reflected a growing consensus that aviation must evolve to meet the pressing challenges of climate change, as well as the increasing demand for urban air mobility and regional air travel. However, the historical roots of electric aviation can be traced back to the 19th century, when early experiments with electricity for aircraft propulsion began with the development of airships. In 1883, Gaston Tissandier flew the first electrically powered airship. This achievement was swiftly followed in 1884 by Charles Renard and Arthur Krebs, whose airship La France flew with improved power, though both attempts were hindered by the heavy accumulators necessary for electric storage, limiting speed and range. These early efforts demonstrated potential but highlighted the significant technological challenges in energy density and power. NASA's Pathfinder series of solar-powered unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, developed from 1983 to 2003, also contributed to the development of electronic aviation. The Pathfinder series, including Pathfinder, Pathfinder Plus, Centurion, and Helios, achieved unprecedented altitudes powered by solar energy. Pathfinder reached 50,000 feet in 1995, and after modifications, set a record of 71,530 feet in 1997. In 2001, Helios topped this by reaching 96,863 feet before its unfortunate loss in 2003. In 2005, AC Propulsion achieved a significant milestone with Solong, an unmanned solar-powered aircraft that completed a 48-hour non-stop flight using onboard batteries charged by day for sustained night flight. Further endurance achievements came in 2010 with the Kinetic U Zephyr, a solar UAV that set a continuous flight record of over 2 weeks. The Zephyr, with its lightweight carbon fiber structure and lithium-sulfur batteries, marked a new era in ultra-long endurance electric flight. Much like airships and UAVs, electronic aviation also found its way into helicopter development. This goes back to 1917, when the Austro-Hungarian military tested an electric helicopter, the Petroci Karman Zurovec PKZ-1, powered by a 190-horsepower ground-supplied motor from Austro-Daimler. However, the motor's limitations curtailed its development. In 1964, engineer William C. Brown advanced this field with microwave-powered flights, paving the way for wireless energy transfer in aviation. Later, in 2011, Augusta Westland's Project Zero, an all-electric tilt-rotor UAV, demonstrated tethered flights using ground power. The first fully autonomous electric helicopter flight occurred in 2011, when Pascal Chrétien of Solution F created an electric helicopter that could sustain liftoff. Later, in 2016, Martine Rothblatt and Tier 1 Engineering modified a Robinson R-44 helicopter with lithium polymer batteries and YASA motors. By 2018, they achieved a 30 nautical mile flight, a record in distance for electric helicopters. Around this period, Airbus's City Airbus concept emerged as a pioneering eVTOL, or electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. NASA's Ingenuity helicopter, which became the first powered aircraft to fly on Mars in 2021, demonstrated electric propulsion's adaptability to extraterrestrial environments. This success laid the groundwork for the Dragonfly mission to Saturn's moon Titan, planned for 2034. Electric aviation also made strides in piloted experimental aircraft. In 1973, Fred Militke's Militke MBE-1, a motor glider powered by nickel-cadmium batteries, marked the first electric aircraft flight with a pilot on board. NASA, working on clean energy sources, tested hydrogen fuel cells in the early 2000s on the Diamond HK-36 Superdemona. In 2010, European researchers under the Enfica FC project flew the Rapid 200 FC with fuel cells, advancing sustainable propulsion options for aviation. Later in 2011, Pipistrel's Taurus G4 won the NASA Green Flight Challenge. Chip Yates's 2013 electric plane, the Long ESA, broke barriers in performance by setting records in climb rate and altitude. In 2017, Siemens pushed this further with its Extra EA300, achieving speed and towing records. Hydrogen fuel cell propulsion gained prominence through ZeroAvia's work, particularly the High Flyer project, supported by the UK government and tested in Scotland. Solar aviation also flourished, starting with the 1979 Morrow Solarizer and its short solar-powered flight. Later that year, the Solar One made significant strides as a solar-powered motor glider. By 1981, the Solar Challenger achieved a groundbreaking cross-channel flight from France to England. Gunther Rochel's Solaire 1 in 1983 and the University of Stuttgart's ICAR 2 in 1996 refined solar-powered design. These advancements eventually led to the Solar Impulse project, which circumnavigated the globe around 2015 and 2016. Electric ultralights gained popularity in the late 1990s, starting with the Air Energy AE-1 Silent in 1998, followed by the Lang Antares 20E in 2003, the first electric aircraft with airworthiness certification. The Taurus Electro in 2011 marked the first two-seat electric aircraft, expanding options for soaring and training. Pipistrel further contributed with its Alpha Electro and Velis Electro, with the latter achieving European Union Aviation Safety Agency type certification in 2020. Magnix propelled electric aviation into new territory by fitting a 750 horsepower motor to a Cessna 208 Caravan, followed by successful test flights. Harbour Air in Canada also adopted Magnix technology, retrofitting a seaplane for short-haul commercial use. By 2024, Magnix aims to achieve even greater flight ranges. The developments in electronic aviation have spanned multiple niches: electric airships, solar-powered UAVs, electric helicopters, and sustainable aircraft. The possibilities are only limited by our imagination. So, what's driving the change? Aircraft emissions have become a significant concern for the future of sustainable transport. Aviation currently contributes approximately 2.4% of global carbon dioxide emissions from fossil fuels, yet this figure only tells part of the story. The increase in air travel and freight from 2013 to 2018 led to a 32% rise in total aviation-related emissions. Further complicating aviation's role in climate change are the non-carbon dioxide emissions produced by aircraft. Emissions like nitrogen oxides and water vapor contribute to the formation of contrails and high-altitude clouds, which can trap heat in the Earth's atmosphere. These effects, though harder to quantify precisely, are estimated to increase aviation's overall climate impact by an additional 1.1%. Addressing this multifaceted impact has become an urgent priority for the aviation industry. One promising path toward mitigating aviation's environmental effects is the development of electric aircraft. Electric powertrains, which run on zero-emission technology, represent a potential breakthrough for reducing both carbon dioxide and other harmful emissions. Developers of electric planes aim to eliminate combustion emissions entirely by using battery-powered engines, which would significantly reduce the emissions produced by flights. The shift to electric propulsion also offers additional environmental benefits, particularly in noise reduction, which is a major consideration given the high noise levels typical of jet engines. Electric aircraft could drastically cut down on noise pollution, benefiting communities near airports and reducing the need for noise abatement policies and infrastructure. This move toward electric aviation, however, comes with technical and logistical challenges. Achieving the energy density necessary for long-haul flights remains a significant hurdle, as current battery technology is far less efficient than traditional jet fuel in terms of energy per unit weight. Thus, while electric aircraft are likely to play a substantial role in the future of regional and short-haul flights, additional innovations in energy storage and powertrain efficiency are essential for them to replace larger, fossil fuel-driven aircraft. Now, let's take a look at what makes all of this possible. General technical specifications of electric aircraft. To meet the power needs of aircraft without relying solely on onboard energy storage, aviation developers have come up with off-board power supply mechanisms, which include solar cells, microwave energy beaming, and power cables connected to ground-based supplies. Solar cells offer a direct method of converting sunlight into electrical energy using photovoltaic materials. When many solar cells are linked together, they form panels that can be used to power an aircraft either directly or through temporary storage solutions. These systems currently achieve conversion efficiencies between 15 and 20%, producing around 150 to 200 watts per square meter in optimal sunlight. However, solar panels require similar alignment and consistent exposure to sunlight, so any shading or changes in angle impact the system's output. Solar power's appeal increases significantly in high-altitude applications, where cooler temperatures and reduced atmospheric interference enhance efficiency compared to ground-level performance. At altitudes around 35,000 feet, temperatures are drastically lower, which improves the operational efficiency of solar cells. This temperature drop allows high-altitude aircraft to take advantage of more favorable thermal conditions than those available at the surface. For endurance flights or missions that require 24-hour coverage, a backup energy storage system charged during daylight hours typically provides power through the night, ensuring continuous operation even when sunlight is unavailable. Microwave energy beaming is another off-board power supply method that relies on transmitting electromagnetic energy from a ground-based source to an aircraft. This approach eliminates the weight associated with onboard batteries and allows aircraft to maneuver more freely than when connected by cables. Microwave power beaming is promising for high-altitude applications where the range and efficiency of wireless transmission improve, but it has only been successfully demonstrated on small-scale models. Scaling up for larger aircraft remains a challenge, but could eventually allow for long-duration flights. External power cables offer a third off-board power option, ideal for low-altitude tethered vehicles like observation platforms or aerostats. Connecting to an electric generator or local power grid, a power cable can supply steady energy to an aircraft. However, as the altitude increases, so does the weight of the cable, which quickly becomes impractical for higher altitudes. While this is one way of doing things, a more practical approach is to onboard effective power storage technologies, such as batteries, ultracapacitors, and fuel cells. Batteries are the most common and practical solution for power storage in electric aircraft. Their development dates back to the use of heavy lead-acid batteries in 19th-century airships, although it wasn't until later technologies, such as nickel-cadmium and lithium-ion chemistries, that they became viable for heavier-than-air crafts. Modern Li-ion batteries, particularly lithium polymer types, have become a staple in lightweight unmanned aerial vehicles due to their efficiency and low weight. Despite improvements in storage density, however, the weight of batteries presents a payload range trade-off that limits their application to smaller aircraft and short distances. Simply adding more batteries becomes counterproductive. While the specific energy storage capability of batteries has improved, it remains significantly behind conventional aviation fuel, which still holds a considerable advantage in energy density. Aviation fuel offers approximately 50 times more energy per kilogram. This energy density gap makes electric propulsion impractical for long-range heavy aircraft, as an electric aircraft would require a 6-fold increase in battery power density to undertake a 500-mile mission for even a modest 12-passenger aircraft. While battery-powered electric motors boast higher efficiency compared to jet engines, the energy gap is a critical barrier. To make larger, long-range electric aircraft viable, researchers are exploring advanced chemistries like lithium-sulfur and lithium-air batteries that could theoretically achieve higher energy densities. Solid-state batteries, an evolving area, also promise increased capacity and safety. Ultracapacitors, a hybrid of batteries and traditional capacitors, are another potential storage option, valued for their rapid charge and discharge rates and tolerance for high peak currents. Unlike batteries, ultracapacitors aren't limited by chemical reactions, which means they can withstand many more charge-discharge cycles. However, with an energy density far lower than batteries and a fairly high cost, ultracapacitors are mostly used in niche applications where short bursts of power are needed and frequent recharging is practical. Fuel cells, specifically hydrogen-based systems, represent a third approach, converting stored hydrogen and atmospheric oxygen into electricity through a controlled chemical reaction. Although fuel cells function similarly to rocket motors in principle, they generate power rather than thrust. The key advantage here is that only the hydrogen fuel must be carried on board, with oxygen readily available in the atmosphere, reducing the weight burden. Supplying power is one thing, but what is it that we're supplying it to? Well, that brings us to electric propulsion systems. The core component of such systems is the electric motor, which has powered most electric aircraft so far by driving propellers or rotors to generate lift or thrust. A standout example, the Siemens SP200D motor in the Airbus City Airbus, represents how compact, high-power electric motors can optimize flight mechanics. These electric motors are lighter and more compact than traditional piston engines, which helps to counterbalance the extra weight of battery systems, particularly for small aircraft on shorter routes. Moreover, electric motors maintain consistent power output at high altitudes, unlike combustion engines, which lose power without turbocharging. This feature simplifies electric aircraft designs and minimizes the costs associated with high-altitude performance. Experimental models such as the Extra 330 LE exemplify the efficiency of electric propulsion, featuring a Siemens SP 260D motor that delivers 260 kilowatts of power while weighing just 50 kilograms. The entire system weighs 1,000 kilograms, which contrasts with the 202 kilograms weight of a comparable Lycoming AEO 580 piston engine. However, unlike the Lycoming engine, which consumes 64 kilograms of fuel per hour, electric systems provide consistent output without such fuel demands. However, the weight of mandatory energy reserves presents a unique challenge for electric propulsion. A 19-seat electric aircraft, for example, would need battery reserves amounting to 4,300 kilograms for contingency flights and holding patterns, making energy density and storage a critical area for further development. Moreover, unlike conventional aircraft that burn fuel and thus reduce weight during flight, battery-powered aircraft retain full weight throughout. Hybrid electric aircraft offer a transitional technology, allowing planes to rely on electric power during energy-intensive takeoffs and landings, and then switch to conventional fuel for longer cruising phases. This hybrid approach makes long-haul flights more feasible and has the potential to significantly reduce carbon emissions. Notable projects such as the Zunum Aero 10-seater and Airbus eFan X aim to operationalize this concept by the early 2030s, while companies like Ampere have already tested electric diesel hybrid prototypes like the electric EL. An intriguing development in propulsion is magnetohydrodynamic or MHD technology, which employs an ion wind generated by magnetically accelerated plasma. In 2018, MIT achieved a milestone by creating a model aircraft with an MHD-based propulsion system, eliminating the need for moving parts. This innovation could lead to quieter, potentially more efficient propulsion systems, though significant advancements in energy generation and storage are needed to realize its potential in commercial aviation. While a lot needs to be done, one thing is for sure: by enhancing power-to-weight ratios, exploring alternative energy sources, and integrating advanced hybrid designs, electric and hybrid electric aircraft are poised to reshape the future of aviation, making it cleaner and more practical. Speaking of the future, we know how Tesla can make it possible, or at least we have fleeting glimpses of what awaits us. Electric vertical takeoff and landing Tesla concept aircraft. While studying at Loughborough University in the United Kingdom, Tom Abbott Davies came up with the Tesla Concept Model 5, an electric vertical takeoff and landing or eVTOL aircraft intended for advanced air mobility. Davies' interest in designing eVTOL aircraft began in 2014 when he was a student at Stowe School. By the time Davies reached Loughborough University in 2017, his design had evolved significantly, and he used cutting-edge 3D computer-aided design tools such as SolidWorks to bring his vision to life. He then used Keyshot, a rendering software, to generate stunning, lifelike visual representations of the aircraft. It is important to note, however, that the design is not officially affiliated with Tesla Incorporated. Instead, it is a purely academic endeavor that may be realized in the future. The Tesla Concept Model 5 stands out for its bold approach to combining aerodynamic, aesthetics, and practicality. The manta ray-inspired design is not just for visual appeal, but also aligns with the functional needs of a high-performance eVTOL. Aircraft like these are poised to transform the transportation landscape by offering rapid, electric-powered air travel in urban settings. The compact size and vertical takeoff capabilities of the design make it ideal for flying in and out of cities with limited space for traditional runways. This could be especially beneficial for air taxis, remote area connectivity, and emergency services. Although the Model 5 is just a concept at this point, it taps into the growing demand for electric flight solutions and the push toward greener, more efficient transportation options. The Tesla Concept Model 5 is a striking one-passenger eVTOL aircraft concept that draws heavily from the need for urban-friendly, environmentally conscious air travel. Its small size is optimized for landing in constrained urban environments, such as city rooftop, open grassy fields, or even driveways. Its design emphasizes luxury and silence, making it suitable for affluent city dwellers looking for fast, sustainable transport options that do not disrupt the peace of their surroundings. This quiet operation is made possible by the design's reliance on electric propulsion systems, ensuring that it helps reduce the carbon footprint of air travel. The aircraft, in theory, uses 3 ducted fans, which are versatile enough to be used for both vertical takeoff and landing as well as forward flight. The flexibility of these fans enables smooth transitions between the 2 flight modes. Depending on the final design and configuration, the Model 5 may feature 3, 6, or even 9 electric motors, which will contribute to its overall propulsion system. Like many next-generation eVTOLs, the Model Y is powered by batteries, ensuring a zero-emissions solution for short urban flight. One of the standout features of the Model Y is its canopy design, which offers full visibility from the cockpit. The canopy not only provides exceptional forward visibility, but also offers panoramic views through side and top windows. The aircraft's fuselage is made from magnesium, an ultra-lightweight metal that contributes to the overall efficiency of the aircraft. This is complemented by a carbon fiber underbody, a material known for its strength and weight-saving properties. The Model 5 is equipped with a tricycle retractable landing gear, which helps to reduce drag during flight and ensures that the aircraft can land smoothly on small urban pads or open areas. The aircraft also incorporates several safety features with a focus on redundancy. One of the most important safety systems is distributed electric propulsion. This system allows the aircraft to maintain stable flight in the event of a motor or propeller failure by using its multiple motors and propellers to maintain controlled flight and safe landing. Additionally, redundancy is built into both the electrical systems and avionics to further enhance safety. If any component were to fail, backup systems would ensure the aircraft can continue to operate safely. While the design currently exists only as a concept, Tom Abbott Davies' efforts in industrial design reflect a keen understanding of both aviation and cutting-edge technology. He also went further and created the Tesla Concept Model V2, an ambitious 3-passenger eVTOL aircraft. Tom Abbott Davies' primary intention behind designing the Model 5-2 was to continue his work in the eVTOL sector, possibly with Tesla or other manufacturers focused on electric and hybrid electric VTOL aircraft. While his Model V was part of his internship application to Tesla, he did not secure a position. Nevertheless, Davies remains passionate about contributing to the future of air mobility and is actively seeking industrial design opportunities. How will electric aviation impact global transportation networks? Electric aviation will redefine the way we think about interconnected regions, economic growth, and environmental sustainability. If successfully integrated, electric aviation promises to enhance accessibility across various terrains, revitalize economies in isolated communities, and help countries meet their environmental goals. It can improve accessibility for urban centers, rural regions, and even hard-to-reach areas. For example, small electric planes can be used for air taxi services, enabling quicker and more reliable travel to remote locations where infrastructure for roads or rail is limited. Such advancements can stimulate economic growth by connecting previously isolated regions to major urban centers, enabling new trade opportunities and more direct transport of goods. Improved accessibility also has a positive effect on tourism by enabling more convenient travel to scenic and cultural sites in rural or remote areas. For instance, tourism could increase in mountainous or coastal regions that lack major airports. This influx of visitors brings new revenue streams for local businesses, including hospitality and retail. The healthcare sector could also benefit significantly, as electric planes would enable faster, lower-cost transportation for medical supplies and emergency responders to remote areas, which is essential for regions with limited healthcare infrastructure. The economic implications are substantial. Studies indicate that increased air connectivity typically drives GDP growth due to the greater flow of goods and people. In the US, for example, air transportation contributes over 5% of GDP, a figure expected to rise with innovations in sustainable aviation. These advancements will also help us mitigate climate change by cutting down on emissions associated with traditional jet fuel. With commitments to net zero emissions by 2050 under the Paris Agreement, many governments are looking to electric aviation as part of their strategies. For instance, Norway has committed to transitioning its short-haul flights to electric power by 2040, hoping to set an example for sustainable aviation in Europe. Electric planes also generate less noise pollution, which can reduce disturbances around airports and benefit local wildlife, especially in rural areas where air travel is currently limited. Further, the elimination of fuel storage and transportation for electric aircraft can decrease the risk of oil spills and pollution related to fossil fuels. According to NASA's studies, the cumulative impact of reduced noise, emissions, and fuel requirements could lead to cleaner skies. As the world races to meet net zero goals, electric aviation offers a viable pathway to reducing the carbon footprint of air travel. The International Air Transport Association predicts that achieving net zero emissions in aviation could reduce up to 1.8 gigatons of carbon dioxide emissions by 2050. This would require a mix of electric and hybrid electric propulsion, alongside alternative fuels and carbon offset initiatives. Electric planes are particularly well suited for short-haul flights under 500 miles, where electric technology can cover much of the range without significant compromises in speed or safety. Tesla's potential entry into the aviation market could accelerate this shift by making electric aviation more commercially viable. Tesla has a proven track record of advancing battery technologies and scaling production, which could be instrumental in developing the energy storage capabilities needed for electric flight. If electric planes become widely adopted, airlines could transition their short-haul fleets, potentially eliminating thousands of tons of emissions annually. All in all, electric aviation could revolutionize global transportation networks, making air travel more accessible, economically beneficial for underserved regions, and aligned with pressing environmental goals. However, the transition will require continued innovation in battery technology, regulatory changes, and a concerted effort from both the public and private sectors to make sustainable air travel a reality. The environmental, economic, and social benefits of electric aviation thus position it as a crucial frontier in the fight against climate change and for more connected global transportation networks. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Did you like this video? If you did, please consider liking, dropping a comment, and hitting the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on our new uploads. Also, don't miss this video you see on your screen right now. It's truly unbelievable.